So this video is going to be talking about me progressing certain skills in the last few weeks. So often with my calisthenics, I love to just stick to the fundamentals and progress skills that I already have learned, if that makes sense. So for example, my handstand push-ups. I'm really good at handstands. Start doing handstand push-ups, start progressing that, somewhat progressing single hand handstands. All of that is kind of getting perfected and mastered. However, there has been a few other skills such as planche, which I have been trying to progress recently. Now, it's been quite slow because I haven't been primarily focusing on it, because that is what you need to do. If you are in calisthenics and you need to progress, or you want to progress one of these skills such as handstands, planche, levers, anything along them lines, you have to primarily focus on that task. So what I mean by this is you go to the calisthenics bars, or you go at home, work out, whatever you're doing, you're working, because you're a calisthenics athlete, you can do it fucking anywhere. You start off by just doing your fundamentals, get warm, get nice and stretched out, because this is very important, as you probably well know, be stretched out, and then start practice or rehearse that single skill. Now, let's say I'm trying to do handstands. That workout, I'm not going to try to do handstands and then try learn L-sits and then also try learn planche as well. Stupid. What you need to do is next 3 to 5 weeks, you need to primarily focus on that handstand pretty much every single day or every single workout. So whether that means going up against the wall, doing it there, or doing your max holds, or just practicing the positions. There's lots of other progression routes which I can show you on alldaylifitness.com. Obviously I've got a course there and everything that shows you how to do handstands and progress it. But yeah, you would need to focus on that individual skill. So that's kind of what I've been doing with planche. Obviously I've been very busy and I do love to jump around sports. I do my running, my fighting, my calisthenics, do a bit of weights, etc. So I do like to move around a lot, but I've been really trying to practice the planche. I've been really trying to progress it to the next stages. So at the moment, out of 10, I'll probably say it's about a 6, because I'm still on about a straddle planche. And I'll have some pop-ups on this video, which you'll be able to have a look at, of my general progression route. So I started off by simply holding a tucked planche. I used to be able to do this very well, and I can still do this now very well, because this used to help me get up to handstands. So I used to practice them a lot. And then what I'll do is I would then do like pike push-ups and do exercises that mimic planche, such as putting my feet on the wall, have my whole body out straight, have my arms out straight. And obviously this was very hard and I had to progress it over time. Now these are just like the fundamentals which I had to work on to be able to progress the planche, but it did work. However, there is some points which I'm going to go over, which were very hard to realize and kind of come to terms with that I was lacking in. So one main thing was flexibility in my legs. Now I was trying to get my legs dead straight and I was trying to hold that straight long line that you would in a planche. Even doing it up against a wall or up against a step, I couldn't do this. And I was just blaming it on my shoulder strength. But what it actually was my legs. And it sounds stupid because your legs are off the ground, they're not really doing much. But the leg flexibility in a planche is extremely important, and a handstand, and pretty much the whole of calisthenics is extremely important. To help myself progress that, what I did was a lot more stretching. My glutes, my legs, and I was trying to hold them positions up against the wall or a step for a lot longer, and I could feel it cramping or getting tight around my leg muscles. So I decided wherever it starts to hurt from holding this position, I will then stretch that muscle and strengthen that muscle. So I did. And obviously strengthening and stretching muscles takes time, whereas learning a skill that you're fully prepared for doesn't take as long. So I had to condition my body to be able to do this skill. Right, so I got that sorted. Then I was like, right, I should be able to do it by now. So I started trying to do the planche again, and I could get into the straddle. That was very good. However, my arms were bent. They're not straight, they were bent. And that's another problem. I was confused why. And then I realized that come from wrist flexibility and lack of scapular strength. And what I mean by scapular strength, obviously I know it's a bone, but there's a lot of muscles attached to the scapula supporting it and keeping that anchor point nice and strong. If you haven't strengthened that up correctly or don't practice it enough, then obviously you're going to struggle with this movement, because that scapular strength is kind of that outwards rotation. If you have it inwards rotate, and your arms often can be bent. If you've got it outward rotating, then your arms are going to be nice and straight. Now I know you probably couldn't see my arms there, but you get what I mean. I'll try to show a video in a minute. So I started working on them. How did I work on them? Well, obviously one, scapular shrugs and pull-up bars. That's perfect, they work very well. And number 2, I started doing push-ups with a full extension at the top. Now, a lot of people get into the habit of just doing push-ups just by repping them out, smash them out, get it done, go. Yeah, I love doing that as well, and to be fair, I do that at most of my exercises. However, when I realised I was slightly lacking in scapular strength to be able to perform this movement, I started doing push-ups with a shrug at the top. Now, you may be thinking, what is he on about? Once again, I will try to show you some videos over the top of this, but with that slight push at the top, it slows the rep down massively, and it does fatigue you a lot quicker, so you can't get as many reps in. It's going to strengthen the scapular muscles and build endurance in that area, which is massively needed for this planche. Now, I've got the straight arms, I've got the straight legs, then what? Now, my arse was too high in the air, so it was more of like a pyramid rather than a straight line. I'm still working on that to this day, and what that just comes down to is rehearsal and practicing the movement. Obviously, because I've been doing a lot of handstands, I normally get that arse up, legs up into the handstand. Whereas the planche is more low and low. And this can feel quite foreign and hard to balance and control your body. So that is now what I'm practicing on, all of the techniques and the skills, because my body is now conditioned. Obviously, I do get distracted, hence why the process is taking me quite a while, because I do often go running instead of doing any calisthenics, or go to the gym and do some other exercises. And it does slow the process down a lot. So try focus on the singular task and you'll get it done. Otherwise, you will be waiting ages to be able to get this skill nipped. And this is coming from me. I'm fairly experienced in calisthenics, and it's still taking me a bit of time to get to this skill because I'm not focused on that singular skill. I'm moving around. But I'm going to show you some videos of me doing the planche. You know, I might even try it now and show you guys. I'm going to do that. Right, now, obviously you would normally warm up for this, but I'm just doing this for the video, so I'm not going to warm up, but give it a go. I probably should have finished filming before messing around with the cameras and doing planche and stuff like that. But that is my progression. Obviously, in the next few weeks, I'm going to focus on it a bit more. But once again, I'm a busy man, do a lot of work, do a lot of this, do a lot of that. So it will be quite a slow progression. That's fine, because I'm not in a massive rush. I'm also trying to get my muscle ups back, which I'll probably end up getting distracted and doing something else very shortly, but that's fine. I like my calisthenics, it is good, but I'm not one of them people that are looking to be perfect in every single way in calisthenics. I just like being able to perform some of the moves and stay consistent with my exercise. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and even put some of your progression tips in the comments if you want. Or feel free to message me on TW Trains on Instagram to ask for any advice that you may need. Or in fact, we do a free Telegram group chat, which I'll put down below, which you can join for any advice.